Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and so here we are in a food forest that we built about 9 months ago. And this was just a homeowner from San Francisco area decided to move here to Redondo Beach, another Redondo Beach food forest. And the homeowner absolutely was in love with his orchard that he had in Northern California. Moved here and he had a grass lawn on the upper portion of the backyard, and the lower portion, it was another lawn. He's like, what am I gonna do with this? So he called me and we got to talking. Originally we were talking to him about his ginormous avocado tree, which is a great producer. But then he's like, you know, I really miss the gardening and stuff. And I said, hey, let's do this. Let's create a food forest. And so that's what we did. And so what happened was we ended up building a bunch of boxes for his veggies, fruits and vegetables. And so this is December, so this is as bad as this is gonna look. It's gonna look amazing in spring and next summer 2020. But for now, this is what his garden looks like. We built the boxes, we filled them with organic soil. We use the Kellogg's product because it's certified Omri organic and all that. And look at these things. These are basil. It's going to seed. He's letting it go to seed because he's actually going to plant some of these next year. And then this is December, and it's still amazing. They've got eggplant there. They've got squash still growing in December. It just amazes me. Over here, this gets a little bit shady, and so there's still some tomatoes growing, and a few blueberry bushes and blackberry bushes. There was a little problem with the garden earlier with some trees that were here, so including the avocado tree, it was trimmed, and too much sun got to the trunk. And so when you trim a avocado tree, you're not supposed to trim it to where the sun hits the trunk, and so it got sunburned. So in order to help it recuperate, I recommended this, and it made a great comeback. It's green as it gets, Garden Max. It's got a ton of mycorrhiza in it. It's just, if a tree is dying, you want to use that. Put about a 3/4 inch layer around the root base, water it in 3 times the first week, and then let the soil biology take over. Unless you have homemade compost, which most people don't have, and earthworms. Over here, there's more tomatoes, just a host of things. In the back of us, we have these 2 lemon trees or citrus were already here. We're hoping they don't get eaten up by the virus that's attacking citrus all over the United States. You can see here he did want to replenish a little when he did his fall planting. This is grow mulch. It's made by Kellogg's. It's a Kellogg's product, and it's got all these certifications. Basically, you'll want to use it because it's certified organic. And coming over here, we've got the artichokes. We've got strawberries. And these are his bean poles, and the beans are not doing well right now because it's obviously December. And then check out these carrots. You can actually see the carrot tops. These things are some pretty good sized for this organic garden. I would call this a backyard grocery store, backyard farmer's market. Man, we could just make tons and tons of videos, and we can give lots of names to this. Here's some onions. Here's some snap peas, kale, and then check out the trees. So this is an Anna apple, here's a stone fruit, there's a Fuji apple, and then there's another stone fruit, persimmon. And then in the back, if you step over here, this is kind of a shadier area, but he really wanted to cut out the view from the neighbors. He wanted more privacy view. So we put this plant called a Cali Andra bush. Check this flower out. It's the #1 pollinator attractor. Whoa, it's just gorgeous. But hummingbirds love to nest in this thing, and it brings a lot of other birds too, butterflies. It's extremely drought tolerant, and it can stay thin. So if you have an area that you don't want a big wide bush, you want a thin bush, but this thing will go 2 stories if you allow it. The Cali Andra, the pink powder puff. And on the ground, we actually, since we're here, we can actually see that we have mulch that we laid, and that brings the mycorrhiza. And then right here, you can actually see the drip irrigation. Now, what happens is the ground actually eats the bark, the fungus, the good fungus for the ground that brings it to life it's called mycorrhiza fungi, and it actually eats the bark. And so when you can see the drip irrigation, that's like a red car indicator light blinking saying, I need something, I need some well, it needs more mulch, so we're gonna have to get this mulched in. One other thing too, Judy Frankel from Judy's Homegrown, she actually came out, helped with doing a little bit of, we want to keep these trees low. The homeowners are retired, didn't want to have to climb a ladder to get their fruit. So we're actually training the tree with some stakes and guy wires to bring it, to train it down so that it's not going to grow upward as much as it's going to grow to the sides. So it'll be easier to get at the fruit. A little bit about the irrigation. We used the Rainbird Copper Shield technology drip irrigation. We did use micro sprays in this case, and because he likes to do a lot of seed. So we're doing, it comes up from seed, and then it has the micro sprays, and then as soon as the seed gets established, then we'll go ahead and turn the micro sprays down. These things turn all the way off, and then the drip irrigation takes over. We have the drip irrigation valves, which I'll show you. You might hand water, but if you don't want to hand water, and these are the drip irrigation valves from Rainbird, and that's about it. So just wanted to give you an update. This is the December garden. It hasn't been cleaned up. We haven't done anything to it actually. Wanted you to see this. I mean, we could have prettied this up, harvested the seeds and made it all look pretty, but this is what you can expect in December. This is Mike with Enviroscape LA signing off. When you think food forest, think Enviroscape LA.